Hi, this is Adirondack Guy, and I'm going to be reading an article about the new changing of the law of abortion in New York State, and then I'm going to give my comments. This article is from Newsday.com. It was updated January 24th, 2019, 5:12 p.m. Albany. New York State legislators overwhelmingly approved a new abortion law on Tuesday, the anniversary of the landmark Roe v. Wade U.S. Supreme Court decision, and Governor Andrew M. Cuomo signed it into law. Here are some key things to know about the legislation. Though abortion already is legal in New York, the bill does change state law. Supporters say the bill primarily codifies abortion rights as provided under Roe v. Wade in 1973. In doing so, the bill would go further than the abortion right laws on the books in New York, which was adopted 3 years earlier. A primary change in the 2019 law permits for a late-term abortion to preserve the health of the mother. Supporters say this confirms with Roe v. Wade. Opponents say it wrongly expands access to a late-term abortions. The new law also shifts the abortion law from the state's penal code to the health code, thereby removing doctors and others from the threat of prosecution, advocates say. Further, the law would permit physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and midwives to provide non-surgical abortion care. The bill, dubbed the Reproductive Health Act, was first introduced by then Governor Eliot Spitzer, a Democrat, way back in 2007. It was always blocked by the Republican-controlled state Senate. The major developments in the last 2 years changed the playing field. First, Republican President Donald Trump appointed 2 conservative judges in the U.S. Supreme Court. One replaced Anthony Kennedy, who was the swing vote in 1992 Casey decision that reaffirmed Roe. Without Kennedy, some believe Roe could be overturned eventually by the court. On Friday, Trump addressed the March of Life, vowing to fight proposed abortion right laws. Second, Democrats in New York routed the GOP in November to gain firm control of the state Senate for the first time in decades. They quickly announced approving Reproductive Health Act would be one of their first actions. The Democrat-dominated Assembly always supported it. The Senate approved the bill 38-24, largely along party lines, with 2 Democrats voting no. The Assembly later approved it 92-47. Okay, so that's the article. Okay, now a lot of people here won't even give a care about my opinion on this. But keep in mind, I do believe I support a good percentage of upstate New York by saying that this decision, this law, goes against what many of us up here stand against. This here was a political act as well as a act to show the United States of America that the powers of New York State, whom the people of New York State voted for, showing the rest of America that, hey, you know, we don't care what you think, we're going to do it our way, and this is what's going to happen. However, I also believe that New York State, the state I belong to, has actually done itself great damage. Number one, New York State has been trying to divide itself. Upstate New York and much of northern New York State wishes to be divided from New York City. Even parts of Long Island wish to be divided from New York City. Why is this important? Because the majority of the population who votes for all of the state is from New York City. We, the people of upstate New York, or the percentage of us, do not agree with many of what New York City, the percentage of people in New York City believes. We're very conservative up here. Even many people of the Democrat Party has very conservative values, moral values. As a result, New York State has just divided itself much more greatly. In other words, there is civil conflict of views within this state. When you hear about what this state is deciding, do not point your fingers at me or the rest of the percentage of upstate New York. The more New York City is making laws forcing people of upstate New York to follow, rather it's against upstate New York's moral views or livelihood, the more that they are, well, causing us to divide. Cuomo wants to kick the percentage of people in upstate New York out because of what we believe. He said so himself. You can look it up. Do your research. You'll be surprised. But the people of upstate New York, including myself, we have families here that have been here for over 300 years. We have even intermarried within the Native American lines up here. Our blood goes back even thousands of years. You have no right, Como, to tell us to get out. We do not agree with your policies or the policies of your kind of party view. In other words, what you're doing is not making us want to leave. What you're doing is making us want to make New York City to leave, or at least to separate ourselves from your city. And then we will take Albany as our own capital. We're going to take her back. It's going to happen. And you can't stop it. And the more that you're trying to fight against this, the more you're actually causing it to happen. The more people are waking up in upstate New York. So congratulations, Como. Congratulations. And this will be all blamed on you. Every last bit. Okay. But yeah, back what I was saying. Basically, New York State has just divided itself. And then the people is very greatly divided. I mean, our entire nation is divided. There's no question there. But New York State is truly divided on this. And it's going to bring up some conflict. I'm sorry to say, it is. I don't want that to happen. I'm very proud of being a New Yorker. But the more and more I see what's happening, the more ashamed I'm becoming, as well as many people up here. So that's all I have to say. Time will tell what's going to happen. I'm more of a historian, so I mostly record and see. So we'll find out. Okay. Have a good day, guys.